This tip's brought to you by One Stringer Arrow Wraps.
Hey everybody, today we're going to do a little arrow wrapping. No, I don't mean hip hop. We're going to do some of the customized wraps, show you guys how to put them on, how to prepare the shafts for them, and also a couple other little cool tricks. So let's get into it so I can get out and do some shooting. As with any time you do any type of adhesion to an arrow shaft, you should properly clean it. We're going to use acetone. That's a good strong cleaner to remove all the grease and the hand grit and stuff where you've touched the shafts. These arrows have already been cut to length, got the inserts glued in. All that's left to do is do a little bling it out, put the wraps on the end of it. These particular wraps that I have are provided by One Stringer. They make some pretty cool custom wraps, as you're going to see when I put these on. They made two different styles for me. Of course, I got to request what I wanted exactly, and they made them up. You know, they okayed it. They showed me a proof. When we got them the way we wanted them, you know, we went ahead and printed them up. They're pretty cool. I think it's going to really kind of bling out my rig even more. But let's get started by cleaning these. All you want to do is put your little acetone on your paper towel, wipe down the surface area of the arrow shaft where the wrap's going to be applied. You can see I got a lot of dirt off of just that one. I'm going to go ahead and do all these. I'm going to do half a dozen today. I'm going to do 3 with 2 different logos. All right, now that I got my arrow shafts clean, it's time to go ahead and remove the wraps from the sticker paper that they come on. This particular case, I've got 3 wraps on each one of these cards. This one is a hide and hook, and I had them put on there. This arrow was involved in a shooting. Kind of cool, kind of catchy, maybe kind of corny to some people, but I liked it. Anyway, what I do with these is when I remove them, you got to remember when you decide to put these on, which end you want. You know, especially if it's a wrap like this, or if it's going to be a wrap like the bow tuning tip one we're going to do. It's more of a fade wrap from a flame American flag all the way out to white. It's going to be a pretty high visible wrap right there, and that's probably the one I'm going to hunt with a lot. But this one here is going to be the one I'm going to shoot 3D and shoot around the house and here at the shop. I just start by removing it, being easy not to stretch it. I think in this case I'm going to put the hide and hook logo towards the front. So I'm going to lay this down. I've got my mouse pad here. That's what one thing that I like to do is I like to apply these by using a mouse pad. I try not to touch them a whole lot so the oil doesn't get on my finger. Then what you do is you get your shaft, and I'm shooting with fobs. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to actually put them right at the very end of the shaft. I shouldn't have any trouble with the fob sliding over it. First, you line up the edge of your shaft. You make sure that the wrap looks nice and even across the arrow shaft. Then you'll push it down and it'll automatically adhere. I roll it up a little bit, kind of hit that edge right there, make it stick all the way down. And then I'll roll it on over. Boom. Ha-ha. And I tell you, I think if you guys use fletchings, this is a whole lot better system to go with a fletching because it's really neat and it'll stick good. You can see the logo, and she'll ask you what size shafts you have because that way when they make the logo, they know exactly how big to make it. You can see the hide and hook deer crossing thing on there. That's cool. So this arrow was involved in a shooting. Well, let's hope so. All right, that's a hide and hook wrap. Next one I'm going to do is a bow tuning tip wrap. And on this one, I'm going to make it where the flag is at the front of the shaft and it fades back to white, which is going to blend right in with the fob and my knock. The back of the shaft, I like it to be more visible than to do the front. So I remember, lay it down with your end you want facing that away. If you're left-handed, you might do this backwards than I do because I'm righty. You know, the perfect type of people are only right-handed people. Just joking, lefties. All right, then do the same thing. I'm going to line it up to the end of the shaft. Then you want to touch it, get it even, touch it to the shaft. I roll it up just a little bit. I'll go ahead and smash that edge down so it doesn't get an air bubble under it. Roll that booger on out. Boom. Awesome. Yeah, those really look good. It's going to make a nice addition to my quiver. Bowtuningtips.com. You know all about it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my arrows. I'm gonna do 3 of each one of these, get them docked out, and then I'm gonna show you how I decorate my fletchings. Okay, now I've got my arrow shafts wrapped with my custom wraps. I went ahead and I put one of my fob wraps on, which the guys who shoot fobs like to call them fraps, because that's cool. I don't know why. Anyway, like this one here says, it says caution, scene of a shooting. And the reason that is this stuff is so simple to put on. You just slide it over the end of your arrow shaft, and then you insert your nock through it into the shaft. And boom, you got a fletching. And it's gonna fly just as good as any other type fletching. It's just a lot more user-friendly. When you go through a target or an animal, it'll pop off and it'll be laying there. That's why I had it say caution, scene of a shooting. And then this, if you find the arrow shaft, it says the arrow was involved in a shooting. Kind of corny, I know, but I like it. I'm kind of a corny guy. I'm going to show you guys how to put these wraps on these fobs. Everybody says they're such a pain in the butt because it's little. I've got huge fingers. We're going to find out. If you notice, I've got white fob and I've got a yellow fob. The white's going to be for the bow tuning tips because it's primarily a white base kind of color for that particular wrap color scheme. The yellow is for the hide and hook because it goes along with the color scheme of the hide and hook logo, which is yellow and black. What you want to do when you're putting these fob wraps on, if you've got something like writing like I do on the hide and hook ones that says caution, scene of a shooting, you got to make sure you got your nock end up, and you want that to be red when the arrows actually nock. So you put it on there just so slightly, get it nice and straight, and then slowly wrap it around. And as you wrap it, you can kind of stretch it just a little and keep it even on the, I always go just by the top, keep it even all the way around, all the way around. It's not rocket science, you're just putting a sticker on a piece of plastic. All right, you get it around there and go ahead and smudge everything down. You don't want to stretch it too far because sometimes it'll overlap on the other side a little more than it's intended on. That one looks pretty good. Let's do one of these bow tuning tip ones. They're pretty cool looking. I had them when we started talking about me doing this installation video for them. I had them do it kind of just an idea that I had. This one here is kind of, I went with the American theme, the American flag. It says bowtuningtips.com on it. Looks pretty neat. Again, I make sure my writing's up right. Make sure my nock hole at the top. Then I'll go ahead and I'll start lining that up. It takes a little bit of coordination. It's not that bad. And if you get it stuck on there and it's crooked a little bit, you can pull it back around and get it straight. Just like that. See, it's not rocket science, guys. At least the plastic sticker part's not rocket science. Maybe the fletching, in this case the fob, might be rocket science. All right, cool, that one looks good. See, just the white goes along with the color scheme of that. I'm gonna do the rest of these, put them together, and show you what they look like. All right, we got our wraps on our shafts, and we got our wraps on our fobs. You know, I used to paint my own arrow shafts back in the day, and now they make the digital printout stuff that you can get. You can actually send them your logo, you can send them your sand, whatever you want it to be. You know, I can't paint American flag like that, and I know I couldn't paint bow tuning tips on there like that straight. So having the wraps on there is just another option to make you stand out in a crowd, to show your love for the sport. Let's take these out, fling a few of them, see how they're gonna fly. All right, you see me put them on. Let's see how they fly. In other words, let's fling some bling. That one hit right where I was marking. Let's try this one. Oh yeah. All right guys, stay tuned. Catch you next time.